Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome if you're new. I'm Stacy and tonight we are going to swatch out my new Castle Arts 120 set of watercolor pencils. You can use these wet or dry, but I wanted to give them all a good swatch so that I know what I'm getting when I drag a pencil out and I want to use it in a watercolor kind of way. Each set comes with, move these out of the way, comes with, should I zoom out? I should. We're going to zoom out a skosh. There we go. Pull this down. That's my watercolor mat. It's a little mat my sister gave me for my cups. Each set comes with the card, and it comes with a step-by-step instructions. Well, this is on how to do projects. I am going to do one of these, I just haven't got to it yet. A color and product guide, which folds all out, show you all the stuff they have, and then watercolor pencils, taking your art to the next level booklet, which is full of all kinds of information and projects and things to do, which I am going to practice and get to just, you know. Tonight we're swatching. Each set comes with a little piece of vellum to protect the stuff. All your colors are up here. And then it does come with a swatch chart. Now I took the time to create a swatch chart on this. This is really smooth paper. And I don't think it's watercolor paper, so I also swatched them on 140-pound watercolor paper in the same order that they are on here. So I thought we would, this took hours, so just putting all the pigment down, and tonight we're just going to do the fun part, which is wetting them all. Set that over there so that you can see all the glorious colors. I mean, there's so many, you guys. There's all the yellows, reds, pinks, and purples. And then the next tray is purples, blues, and greens. And I rearranged this the way I wanted it to be. It was not arranged this way. And then greens into neutrals, and then kind of green grays, all the grays and stuff. Actually, I put this in the order of the chart. As you can see, the chart goes this way. Down and down, 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 down. I don't know why they arrange it like that, but that's how it is. But aren't they gorgeous? They're so pretty. I love the black barrel. That is a favorite aspect of these pencils for me. I need a chapstick and I need a water. Left my water on the other side of the room. Oh my goodness. I have not been drinking enough water lately, you guys. Okay, chapstick, vanilla. I don't remember what brand it is. EOS. It's a favorite. Okay, so I'm going to take my Princeton Neptune round number 8, and we're going to start. Let's see, how should we do this? Maybe we should switch these guys over out of the way so that you can see all the colors, and then I can zoom in a bit. Yeah, we'll go side by side like this. I dig that. Alright, and then water. I should have a towel of some sort. Maybe we'll grab a tissue for dabbing, in case we need to dab. There. Ta-da! Alright, so 1-to-1 on the smooth paper, and I have quite a bit of pigment down on each sheet. This is number 003 golden yellow. Kind of just disappears, which is sad. Which is sad. Come to me, golden yellow. Come here. It's an almost not there color. And I did actually put a lot of pigment down. You can also take the pigment right from the pencil. You just don't want to dip your pencil in here because the wood will soak up the water over time and expand, and it's just not good for your pencil. Alright, we're going to move on. We're just going to move on down the line. And then this one is Primrose Yellow. Looks to lighten up quite a lot when you put the color on. I feel like I should put even more pigment down. And I did press really hard when I put the pigment down. I'm wondering if smooth paper is the way to go, you know? And maybe a little bit of water instead of a lot of water. I know nothing about using colored pencils, you guys, except for the few YouTube videos that I've watched here and there. Maybe we'll just hardly any water. It more dilutes the pigment than anything. Kind of discouraging. A little bit of water. That was lemon yellow light. This is lemon yellow. Ooh, that one's a good one. Pigment kind of did what I thought it would do. It worked like watercolor would for me. For a swatchy swatch. And then lemon yellow over here. Well, that'd be good for sunsets, right? Look at it. It moves nice. I don't feel like I need more pigment. Those I might reserve for dry work, like going over already dry work. That is Marigold, which is a great name. Let's find our Marigold. Is it you? That's bright yellow. Cadmium deep. How many down are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got too far in. No, that's bright yellow. There it is. Well, that one's Marigold. I feel like I should put down a lot of pigment for Marigold. This is just for me to get an idea of what the colors will do. Ooh, that's bright. It should be brilliant yellow. Okay, then let's move our Marigold out. And then our bright yellow. Ooh, that one's pretty. I'm talking like weird calm voice again. Get all the way down here. So silly. My boss has been out of work. She's visiting her kids and grandkids in Oregon. And I don't know, this work week seems really slow and quiet. It's weird. This is Cadmium Deep. Cadmium Yellow Deep. Also really pretty. Moves nicely on the paper. It grades out nice. And this one is Yellow Ochre. Try not to use too much water. That seems to be the bad thing. Don't use too much water, because it seems to lift it up instead of move it out. You know what I mean? It's like it lifted all the pigment up. That's our cadmium yellow, or yellow ochre light. That's this one. Yellow ochre light. I didn't bother sharpening these either. It does go down kind of light. We'll have to play with them in a piece to see what they're really going to do. This one I thought was so pretty. Coral. Pink. I thought maybe it could make some really nice pinks. But then we have all these pinks over here, so we might not need it for that. I mean, it's 120 colors, you guys. I'm sure I can layer them up. And that is, I did watch a Let's Make Art video on using your colored pencil and ways to do it. Ooh, this one's pretty. That cadmium orange. Look at that. Brightened right up when you got it wet. Fills in nicely. Look at that. And the video was very informative. I just, I didn't know you could paint with these, like do a base layer and then go over it with another color and put more paint on it, like you do with watercolor, work in layers. This is Orange Lake Light. Another one of those light ones that doesn't want to gray it out. I don't know if I like it on the smooth paper better or the watercolor paper. I think I like it better on the watercolor paper. You see that my brush has that one long hair on it? I don't know. Can I pull that out? Yes. I don't know when that happened. Started losing her hair. I am pretty rough on her. She's my favorite brush. This is Cadmium Orange Light. Not really digging this one either. The light ones really don't... That pigment just kind of goes away almost. And I was really heavy-handed when I swatched. As you can see, I mean, there's kind of a lot of pigment down. See? This one is Cadmium Orange Middle. That's intense. That's what I like to see. It grades out nice. Okay. Soak up some of that water. Orange Lake. Once again, I might be using way too much water. Maybe I should switch to a not watercolor brush for this. And a smaller one. Let's switch to this little dude. This is a Princeton Round Neptune number 2. It doesn't hold a lot of water. Maybe a little more water than that. There we go. See how it grades out. Meh. Not to say that I won't use these because I'm totally going to try. I actually have a piece set out that we're gonna play with once I get all my swatching done. I like that coral deep. That's nice. I'm guessing you mostly want to move the pigment to fill the tooth of the paper and blend it out, I guess. Let's wet this. Let's see if it will move. It's a little better. A little gradient going on. This is the goal here. It's not working out. Oh, tomorrow's Thursday, one day closer to Friday. I'm so excited. And one day closer to the 2-day craft event sale thing that I'm going to be doing on December 3rd and 4th. I'm going to be at the, I want to say Everett, but I'm not in Washington. It's the Cuyahoga County College in Auburn. Doing their, I'll be a vendor at their 47th annual Christmas Bazaar, I think is what it is. Oh, this one's pretty. That scarlet red moves around nice. What's this one? So I've been making my cards. I just got done. I did not realize it was so late. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. This one's really pretty. I'm digging this one. And so that I'll know later, I numbered the rows up here in correlation with these rows on here so that I can keep it all together and know at a glance what it looks like on the watercolor paper. I'm excited for the event, but I've never done one so big, and I saw pictures, like a couple, there's not many pictures of the past events out there, but the few I did see, it's a more high-end show than I'm used to doing. So I'm a little intimidated, but I'm doing it. I'm gonna go. But I'm a little nervous. Not that my stuff isn't good enough, but I wish I had, I guess, better display setup than I do have right now. Not that mine looks bad. This one's pretty vermilion. That'll make some really pretty pinks mixed with other colors. Ooh, look at that. That's gorgeous. That's the kind of intensity I'm expecting from all the colors, and I'm guessing I'm not going to get that. Also, yes, less water is more. Less is more. So that's noteworthy. It's vermilion. That's really pretty. I don't really dig it on this smooth paper at all, though. Cad red. Kind of got a weird purpley pink cast to it. Yeah, this brush is a better choice. It doesn't hold as much water, so it's not diluting the pigment as quickly, which is cool. Yeah, we like that. I like that color. Okay, let's step it out a notch. Do row 3. Can you guys see? Yeah. Maybe zoom in a little bit better. There we go. This one I was looking forward to. Carmine Rose. I do love a good rose. Ultramarine. Rose of Ultramarine is a cool color. It's like a duo color from Daniel Smith. Love it. Cadmium Rose. There's a Cadmium Rose color. By Watercolors by M. Graham that I love too. I'm just tapping the water off. Let's wet this over here. See if we can get a little gradient going on. I kind of stained the paper a lot. Nope. Alright, let's do these top two over here. The Carmine Rose. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty. Look at that. So I've made, if you're interested, I'm just going to chit chat while I'm doing this, 'cause otherwise, boring. Purple Deep. This one's the one that's stained over there. That's kind of pretty. So I made Christmas tags, which turned out great, out of some of my new gnome designs. Finally figured out packaging for them. I'm aubergine. Just got done packaging them in sets of 12 so that you can actually see. This is a pretty one. I like this one. And then I was printing my prints, and then my printer is all out of whack and needs a new, like basically it's a waste container, and I don't have an extra one. Let's do this mulberry. So I have to order that on Friday. Hopefully it'll get here quickly enough that I can finish doing all my prints that I want to do. I mean, I have enough if it doesn't come, you know, timely. That's pretty. That mulberry's nice. Nice earthy color. Okay. This is super light. Tangerine. Very pale. Subtle. It's very subtle. I've been taking my melatonin at night again because I haven't been sleeping well again. And I forgot, if you haven't taken it for a while, you have weird dreams. So the last couple of nights I've had some odd, not bad, but kind of too real and intense kind of dreams. But not anything that I can remember the details of, just feelings when I wake up. It's a little unnerving because I don't normally stress dream that I know of, you know, that I remember. This one's pretty. What are you? Grenadine. Is that a drink? I feel like that's a drink. And then peach. I'm hoping this video won't take forever to swatch out, and that you guys don't get bored. I like this peach one. Definitely a light hand and less water for the blending situation. I'll have to dig out some more synthetic brushes because I have a couple over there that I can use. Water control is key, apparently. And I am very heavy-handed when it comes to doing watercolor work. I like to work wet and wet, and I like to splash color around and be messy. Not that I can't with these, but as you can see, it dilutes the color if you use too much water, although it looks amazing on the camera, like vibrant. Although these light ones up here and these couple here are very, very pale. Oh, I finally watched, whilst putting together cards and, oh, I'm selling cards at the event as well. Well, putting together the cards and stuff and whatnot for the sale, I've been watching, watching to the new season of Warrior Nun on Netflix. It's pretty good. I just watched the last episode a hot second ago. It left me wondering if they're going to do another season, which is, you know, how it goes. Let's do this Gardenia Light. That's this one. Yeah, that one's another pale one. And this Opera Rose is really nice. I got too heavy-handed with the water over there. That's pretty. And this cherry pink is pretty nice too. I've got a lot of pinks in this box. Like a lot. I feel. Like this range here. And in there. And then even more over here. Not that there aren't plenty of the other colors as well, but it just seems pink and seems like a pink heavy box. Alright, Bangle Rose. This one's pretty. There we go. Yeah, 4. I like this color. Also, I can see me doing some flowers with that one. I haven't done flowers in a while. My last flowers I did in my sketchbook. I did a spread of roses and different variations of their blooming. You know, from bud through to almost falling petals. Rose pink. This one's really pretty. Intense. Moves nice. Come over here. A little more water. Purposely have been trying not to watch a lot of TV. I've been reading my books at night. On my Kindle. I finally had to break down and buy a new Kindle Fire because my old one crapped out on me finally. I paid like $120 for that thing back, 4 or 5 years ago when I got it. Got the biggest, baddest, wonderfulest one that I could get at the time, and I mean it lasted for almost 5 years, so that's amazing. That is Juipur, Juipur. It's really hard to read. Pink, that's really nice. And underneath that is another Bangle Rose, but the deep one. That's Bangle Rose, and then Bangle Rose Deep is way down here. I don't know why we need both. I mean, there we go. It's pretty. I see myself using all of the colors, honestly, interchangeably a little bit. Anybody else? Anybody else? Got too much water on that one. Alright. A Violet Lake. That's pretty. Violet Lake. Come on. I feel like you gotta coax them around. Oh, I'm feeling that melatonin. I might have to make this just a swatch video, and then we can do an art piece tomorrow, which I'll put up tomorrow as well. I'm gonna put this up tonight. It's Wednesday night. I meant to do this earlier today as my Watercolor Wednesday video, a little swatch with me video. And then the work day got away from me. I thought I'd have a little bit of downtime because my boss is out, but no. And then the little bit of downtime I did have, I was out in the other room putting together stuff for putting prints in sleeves with backer boards to get prepped for sale. This is pretty. What is this one? Cobalt. Violet. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one's Cobalt Violet. This one is Cobalt Violet Light. This is pretty. Oh, wait. We got snow last night when I woke up this morning. Everything was dusted. The plow was even out. Heard the plow roll through, and I was like, are you serious? It's not even technically winter yet, is it? I'm pretty sure it's still fall. I still haven't checked on that. Is it still fall, you guys? Yeah. It's not winter till after Christmas. Right? Like, seasonally speaking? According to oh, sorry, my camera turned itself off on me. Rude. Then we're on mauve. Mauve up there, and then this one's lavender. There we go. Just suggests to me that we're going to have a very snowy winter. And I'm very, very happy that I will be working from home so I don't have to drive in it. Because my teensy car does not enjoy the snow at all. This cobalt purple I'm digging. Pre-pigment, or pre-water rather. Yeah, that's nice. The kids have all sent me their Christmas lists this year early. I usually have to bug them well into December before I get their Christmas lists. Let's do this purple right here. So I have those all now, and I can get on my Christmas shopping for them. And since they're all grown, and no one really needs anything anymore, you know, they all have households of their own, and we all have things we need. This one's really pretty, this purple. Digging it. Look at that. That moves nice. Then violet deep. That's nice too. I think I'm gonna love all the purple ones. Purples and indigos are my favorites. I love me some purple and indigo. Oh, made a mess. There's a little something on my page. Oh, you guys should see the art room. It is an absolute disaster. Is this brush falling apart? Is that what that is? Weird. Alright, let's move down here. What's this one? 1, 2, 3. Purple Lake Deep. This one's really pretty too. I'm swatching in a weird way, huh? Kind of going, doing 2 or 3 colors and then moving over to the other sheet. Go back up here and do this deep violet, or violet deep on the smooth paper. I can't decide if I like it better on the, I think I like it better on the watercolor paper, honestly. And I have some 90-pound watercolor paper that I bought on accident that I think this would work really well on. Sorry. Too much water. There we go. Oh, that's really pretty. Dig it. Okay. There we go. My bed is calling to me. I can hear it. Come lay down. You're so sleepy. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is permanent violet. I love the look of this one. Look at that. Look at that. Let's get it to move. Nice. Dig it. Then Heather purple. Heather's my daughter's name. My middle daughter. There we go. Yeah, lots of water right there. Okay. And this Heather purple over here. And this is kind of a nicer swatch too because it's nice and big. When I'm all done, I'll probably go in with a black pen and write down the names and numbers of the pencils. I'm going to try to keep them in order in here as well. It doesn't really matter though, because with the Castle Art pencils, they don't sell them open stock yet. I don't know if it's something they're working on, but it is something that I looked up. I just like the Castle Art brand. They're affordable and they're nice pencils. They go down nice. Most of the artwork that I sell is prints of my art. I very rarely sell an original. And if I do, I make sure to use archival products. Or to let the person know that, you know, this isn't meant to last 1,000 years. It's meant to last your lifetime. I think that's reasonable. That's really pretty. I like that one. Cornflower blue. Nope. Dollop of water. And then this is Delft blue. D-E-L-F-T. I have no idea. It looks like it's going to be purple. See? Got a very purpley cast to it. Ultramarine-y looking. Actually, that one's very ultramarine-y looking. This one's just purple. Don't you think? Very purpley. Let's do it over here. Some of the colors move around on that smooth paper pretty nice. So this is looking very nice, actually, to me. Let's do this cobalt turquoise. Turquoise has never been a favorite color of mine. I'm not sure why. I think the weather's acting up a little bit out there. Yeah. I never really cared for the muted tone of turquoise. Not a fan. It's too soft. And then sometimes it's just so bright, it's so like in your face. We have a bunch of turquoises. That's cobalt turquoise light. This is cobalt turquoise. And then there's another one up there, cobalt turquoise green. This one's not bad. It's just never a color that calls to me. And I do a lot of sea creatures and stuff. I like to paint sea mammals, turtles, whales. What else have I done? So many octopuses, different kinds of turtles. Jellyfish are a favorite. Alright, let's do this cerulean down here. I do like me some cerulean. It's a good ocean color, or sky, or both. I'll just put some water down there. See if we can get it to move down. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go through and write down the names and numbers of the pencils. Okay, we're moving on to the next sheet, and we're getting into our greens now. I can't wait to do the earth tones. I'm super excited. Is that cobalt turquoise? Cobalts are nice colors. They tend to be pretty vibrant. Yeah, I like that. Do it over here. Making sure I'm in frame. Honestly, I didn't think about focus either. I hope I haven't been in focus this whole time. That'd be a bummer. That one's really nice. Teal green light. That's not bad. Teal, green, white. I don't feel like I left myself as much room on this one for gradient. Sky blue, this one's cool. Look at that intensity. That's awesome. Yeah, I like that. That's beautiful. Very jewel-like, don't you think? Yeah, I like that color. That's nice. Cobalt blue. I knew I'd like the blues and greens and into the earth tones. Can't even help myself. Super pretty. Okay. Ultramarine. Who doesn't love a good ultramarine? I'd like to know if ultramarine will granulate. Because it's a naturally granulating color in watercolor. I wonder if it'll granulate in the colored pencil variation. You know what I mean? It's very pretty. Primary blue. Because who doesn't love a good primary blue? Oh, that's intense. It stays intense too. It doesn't dilute out very much. Nice. I don't know what I'd use it for, but there it is. I'll use it for intensity. Intensity. Yeah, I dig it. Okay, and then ultramarine light. Ultramarine light over here. Looks amazing on the watercolor paper. Look at that. Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. Getting better at the feel. Too. Swatching is good for that kind of exercise. Getting a feel for what your medium will do and how to handle it. And I have been getting pretty heavy-handed with my watercolor pieces lately. Sorry. So much so that I haven't liked any of the pieces I've done, and I haven't even bothered to put them up on the YouTubes because they're that bad. Like, they're just, yeah, things got away from me. Is it down there? It is. It's down here in this bin. I can show you how bad it got. Maybe it's not as handy as I thought it was going to be. I folded it in half and shoved it in my recycle bin. Because it was that bad, you guys. Oh, I folded it in half. See? Things got on hand and super muddy, and I just, yeah. There's no saving it. I gave up. That was the last one that I was doing. So I figured I'd take a break from all that for a hot minute and swatch. Because swatching is very relaxing, right? This cobalt blue deep is nice. Any blue in particular that you guys are falling in love with? Or do you have a favorite color that you just have to use? Sometimes you just must. For me, it's indigo. Intense blue. as opposed to primary, I guess. It's got a very turquoisey feel to it too. I like it. If you hear those footstep movements, it's my neighbor. His closet is on the other side of my closet, and my closet's open, so I tend to hear a lot of his nighttime going to bed movements. Makes me glad that I don't sleep back here anymore. That's pretty great. This color's pretty great. Alright, well, moving up here to the greens. The teal green right here. Too much water. Teal green. There we go. I'm looking forward to the craft sale being done so I can stop thinking about it. Is that terrible? I feel like I've been thinking about craft shows since, well, I have been thinking about craft shows since this summer. Mom signed us up for one a month throughout the spring and summer months. And then we did a different one in October. Was it October? No, November. We didn't do an October one. That teal green's pretty nice. This cypress green I'm interested in. This cypress blue green. Is that supposed to be that blue-green tree green? That blue-green tree color? Cypress? It's pretty. I dig it. I'm almost done prepping for the show, though. Thanksgiving weekend will be the last weekend, of course, that I can prep. And I'm hoping that that will be like just final. Okay, that's it. We're finished. This is as good as it's getting. The indigo light is really nice. Wondered why it was calling to me because it's indigo light. It's indigo. That's why it's calling to me. Cobalt green light. It's not terrible. Whew. Feeling the sleepies. Yeah, I like that. On the watercolor paper, it's more intense. Okay. Then jade green. See, when I think of a jade green, I think of something darker, you know, more, I guess, dense than this color seems to be. Not sure why. Water, see if we can get a little gradient going. That's a little better. And then they pulled the, if any of you Who fans out there, they pulled the new Doctor card. And, yeah, super excited about that. See how the new season goes, but I'm still on, like, I haven't watched any of her stuff. The female Doctor, don't even know her name. The Doctor, that's her name. So I've got a bunch of Doctor Who to catch up on over the next few, I thought about watching it from the beginning again, because, you know, when you haven't watched it forever, you forget what's going on, but that's a lot of seasons of Doctor Who. I like that cobalt green, that's nice. The deep is not so fabulous, but I like that one up there. See, there's enough in here that even though you can't buy them open stock, you can switch out and mix the colors together, and this set's going to last me a really long time, I think. And if there is a particular color I do like, I can get it open stock in a different set, right? Like I'd love the Inktense set and Derwent Inktense pencils. You can get open stock, so maybe I'll start doing that. When a pencil gets low, I'll just snag it in the Inktense to replace it. Because I would love a set of the Derwent Inktense pencils, but they're so expensive. And I don't do enough watercolor pencil pieces to justify that kind of expense. The Castle Arts is, granted, a student grade, I guess, but I feel like it's good for me. It's a good fit for me. Yeah, that one's pretty. I like that. That is forest green. We like the forest green, you guys. And this one, this olivey oxide of chrome. Instead of chrome oxide, they name it oxide of chrome. Sounds very formal. It's the oxide of chrome. Ooh, on the watercolor paper, that is a nice color. I dig that. Look at that. Yeah, that's nice. That's one I can see myself using a lot. Okay, well, moving on. Moving on up. I need to scooch this so that we stay in frame. There we go. Viridian, not a favorite. In watercolor at all. And in colored pencil, I don't even use my Viridian in colored pencil very much. But there are going to be colors that they just don't call to you, so you don't use them as much. Very in touch with my colors. I like them to call to me. Oh, God. I might be getting a little sleepy, you guys. Almost done, though. Cadmium green. This one's nice. It'll be nice for landscapes and florals. And other things. I tend to use color on just about everything. I tried, well, I did some of the Inktober 52 stuff this year. When I started, I was like, you start strong, right? And if you don't know, Inktober 52 is supposed to be an ink practice drawing a week. You get a prompt a week, and you can, you're supposed to, I got some of these mixed up, but that's okay. This is sea green instead of sap green. I got them in the wrong spots, but I just went with it. So this is a sea green right here, which is actually very appropriately named. What was I saying? Yeah, I'm definitely tired. I forgot what I was saying. This olive green is nice. Look at that. That grades out nice. Okay, olive. It gets nice and yellow. It has that nice out to yellow gradient. I like that. Okay. Earth green. Okay. This is earth green yellow. It looks like a variation on green yellow. So there you go. Earth green. More of a brown green, I guess, than a yellow green. It's not bad. It does have a green cast to it, I guess. Oh, green gold. I use my green golds a lot. Mostly because they tend to be more golden than green, and they give you that soft glow. When you're looking for a soft glow, green gold's a good one to go with. Maybe not for a sunset or anything. For a sunset, I'd stick with those lemons or this cadmium yellow deep. That's nice too. And then we have leaf green light. Oh, feeling the sleepies. I'm feeling them. There we go. I was feeling it earlier though too. My eyes are tired from looking at screens too long. Not giving myself a break. I go straight from work to the laptop and Photoshop and the Cricut design space and making my stickers and putting together prints and color correcting and all the things that you do that you don't realize how long it takes until you're in the middle of doing it, and then pretty soon it's bedtime and you're like, but I didn't do half the things I wanted to do. Right? Right. I like that leaf green. That's nice. Both of those. Light and leaf green. Light and leaf green. Those are nice. I dig them. And then this is leaf green middle. So if you need leaf greens, they're right here. And green deep. Leaf green deep is right below this middle one. How handy is that? All the colors. I was playing with my pan pastels earlier, and oh man, you guys, I would love the whole set of those. I love pastels. This is leaf green deep. I think it should be called leaf green bright. Look at that bright vibrancy. It's nuts. Look at it. I dig it. Yeah, the swatches are turning out pretty nice. Next row, row 9. We're starting with cadmium green pale. Right here. There we go. Cadmium green pale. They put it up here because it's so close to this one. Castle green light. There we go. I dig it. It's very bright. I don't very often use these greens unless I'm layering other colors on top of them or them on top of other colors. They tend to be way too vibrant for my taste. Not that they're not good greens, they're just, I don't usually use them. Like phthalo. Phthalo green is not one that I use very often either, but it is in my palette. I tend to mix it with other greens to tweak it or tone it to suit my needs. Because I bought it, I don't want to not use it, right? Because M-Gram paints are expensive. That one is Castle Green Deep, and this one is just Castle Green. So we have light, deep, and then just green. I mean, they're all greens, but this is just Castle Green. This one right here. Okay, and then down to mint green. Mintiest of the greens. Mints reminds me of when my daddy was alive. Every year for Christmas I would get him those thin mints that come out. They're kind of like mini peppermint patties, but they come in the pack. I would get him those every year for Christmas because I knew he liked them. That's what pops in my head when mint, the word mint comes up. Sorry. Maybe I should take a drink of water. Water acquired. Alright, we only got a few left to go. Are you hanging in there, you guys? Permanent green light. And my grandma, when we were little, this is that vivid green. Yeah, I'm not in love with much of these bright greens. They will be toned and mixed with other things, I'm sure. But Grandma liked, when we were little, her favorite thing was chocolate covered cherries, which to this day I really can't, I just can't. Anything fruity with chocolate is just not my thing. Blasphemy, I know, but I really just can't handle it. Not a big fan of strawberries to begin with. And then you want to ruin my chocolate by putting strawberries with them. Unless they're strawberries directly from someone's garden, which are the best strawberries ever. This is that sap green. Yeah, I'll use sap green a lot. It's more of a deep, earthier green that I dig. Prussian green? I didn't know Prussian green was a thing. I mean, I like it. I just didn't know it was a thing. I know Prussian blue is a thing. But every year for Christmas, Grandma would get so many chocolate-covered cherries. And then a couple of years, right when I moved here, I remembered that she liked chocolate-covered cherries. But I got her chocolate-covered cherries. My mom got her chocolate-covered cherries. Aunt Linda got her chocolate-covered cherries. By the time we went over to play cards just before Christmas Day, and I gave her, she likes lemon as well, so I got her some lemon cakes from the bakery, which are amazing, and I'm not a big lemon fan, so that's saying a lot. She was very thankful for the lemon cakes, but she was not real thrilled about another box of chocolate-covered cherries. I had to take them home with me. I honestly don't remember what happened to them. I know I didn't eat them. Chris might have eaten them. They might have gotten thrown away. I'm not a big chocolate-covered cherries fan at all. I might have put them down in the laundry room with a free sign on them, too. That happens a lot here. There's lots of, not food-based stuff, but things end up on the table in the laundry room downstairs with a free sign on it. Books. A lot of books. That juniper green's nice. This is gamboge. I use gamboge kind of a lot. It's a nice, like, muted, creamy yellow gold color. It's very nice. Oops. Yeah, so I don't know. My Aunt Linda is home from the hospital. I think in the last video I said she was in the hospital again. But she went home last Friday. Was not thrilled to hear that. But, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to scooch this over so you guys can see what I'm doing. And she has not been up for visitors. This yellow ochre is next, and I'm going to just go side to side. It's nice. Yeah, I dig it. She's alright. She's just tiring out really fast. So I have to call her and see if she's up for a visitor this weekend. I won't stay long. You know, just enough to say hi and maybe, I don't know, make her lunch or something. So she doesn't have to make her own lunch. But she is never in the, I mean, she's been sick since I got here. She just got re-diagnosed with her cancer, came back in 2019 when I moved here. She had like 10 years of remission. So she's been fighting right along, but she hasn't been so tired that she can't have visitors, so that concerns me kind of a lot. I really like this terracotta light. That's really, really nice. That one kind of pops out at me. And there's raw umber. Another color that I have on my palette that I don't use a lot. If I do use it, I usually mix it with a different color to give it a different cast or depth. It's kind of one of those colors that just doesn't do it for me. Maybe it's too earthy. It's a nice color. I just don't think to grab it. This earth red though, ooh, look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful. I dig it. I see myself grabbing that one pretty regular. Oh, so pretty. Look at that. No, that blends out nice. Look at that. How many times can she say, look at that? I'm getting too tired. I need to go to bed. That's, yeah, digging it. Cadmium orange deep. I didn't mean to bring anybody down with talk of my aunt. If that brought you down, I'm really sorry. Not my intent. I'm just gabbing. My cousin is supposed to, I think he's coming up for the holidays, for Christmas, to spend Christmas with Aunt Linda. He lives in California. So that'll be nice to be able to hopefully see him while he's here. He's only going to be here for a couple days, and I usually go see Aunt Linda Christmas Eve, or you know, that around that time. Cinnamon. I like that cadmium orange deep. That's nice. Feels more cinnamon-like than the cinnamon does. The cinnamon's kind of a brown, I guess. This one's very muted. There we go. That's not bad. Can you imagine how long this would have taken if I had to scribble down the color and swatch it out? We'd be here for hours. Terracotta. That's one that I actually really like in other mediums. Yeah, that's nice. Reminiscent of that cadmium orange deep up there. Oops. Yeah, I like it. And then magenta. Ooh, kind of digging the magenta, you guys. Look at that. Nice earthy red. Yeah, I like that. So, this weekend, actually, Chris and I were supposed to go see a movie a couple of weekends ago, and I just avoided it because I didn't feel like going out. If the weather's not crap, I need to go out and see my Aunt Linda, and then he and I need to go see that new movie that The Rock did, Black Adam. I've been avoiding all the previews and purposely not watching or reading anything about it, so that when I do see it, you know, I get the full experience. That spice red is nice too, kind of magenta and spice red. Yeah, this is that spice red. Yeah, I like that one. That one's nice. I feel like I'm getting a better handle for how to move this around on the paper too, which is cool. Then Chinese orange. I love my Chinese orange, and Sennelier it makes a beautiful Chinese orange. This one's more red than orange. The Sennelier Chinese orange is more orangey. Has a more orange cast to it. This is kind of terracotta red for me. You know what those plant pots look like. Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's pretty. I just wouldn't have named it Chinese orange. The sepia light. It's like a super pale pink purple color. It's pretty. I could see myself using it on flowers. Or birds. I do love to draw birds. It's a problem. I have so many owl pictures, you guys, that I've done over the years. I purposely had to stop painting owls for a while. I was painting so many. This is sepia, which is a very nice brown color. Or sepia, for those of you who like to say it that way. I guess sepia would be more appropriate. S-E-P, sep. There's no A, so it doesn't, you know, do the seep thing. Yeah, this is pretty. Apparently I got very heavy-handed with the pencil. It's very pretty. I like it. Alright, and then walnut brown light. I have so many walnut inks from like the Inktober boxes last year. And the boxes around Inktober had different inks in them, so I have like 4 things of walnut ink that I need to find a use for. Should just start drawing with them, I suppose. Just not a brown that I go for, but it's fine. Permanent brown. The noises help, you guys. I don't care for the permanent brown color. Anybody else? Is it a brown that you love? If so, I apologize. I mean, it'll be nice for trees and shadows and stuff like that. And this permanent brown deep, it's really dark. It's almost black. It could probably read black if you needed it to. You know, if you layered it over a blue or something, or a purple. Which I tend to do for shadows. Blues and purples, or a deeper green. A deeper variation of the color that needs the shadow. Yeah, that's nice. I kind of dig that one. As opposed to the brown, the deep is nicer. I dig it. And then this one is burnt umber, also a color that I don't often go for. Got way too much water on that. Sorry. Like way too much water. I'll just push it out. Got crazy. Not too crazy. There we go. And then Van Dyke Brown, another one I don't often use. These deep dark browns I don't use very much in watercolor. We'll see about the watercolor pencil situation, because I imagine that's a different story, right? There. And then this cool gray, which I appear to have mixed the red in somehow. It's kind of a purpley gray, like a neutral tint. Cool gray. Yeah, that kind of reminds me of Payne's gray a little bit, or neutral tint. M. Graham's neutral tint is very nice. I have a couple neutral tints in different brands. M. Graham's is my favorite though for neutral tint. M. Graham's is my favorite watercolor. It's my first professional watercolor that I bought. Oh, this is a warm gray. Also very nice. Kind of dig the warm gray in my frame. Okay. I'm going to dip my finger in the cool gray. Got carried away. There's our warm gray. A little water in there. See if we can get it to... fade it out a little bit. Come on. There it goes. There it goes. Not bad. Not bad. And then Terra green? Terra Verde? I think that's how you say that. It's like a green-gray kind of color, I guess. It's not bad. Not bad, she says, at all. It's not bad at all. Yeah, this is just going to be a swatching video, you guys. Sorry. We'll have to do the... I'll show you the piece we're going to do next. It'll be the Friday video. This I'm going to put... Or maybe it'll be the Thursday video. I might put a video out Thursday and Friday. Because there's a mixed media piece I want to do on Friday. I'm liking that graphite gray. That's nice. This light one. That's really nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then Payne's gray. Oh, that moves around nice too. I like it. Payne's gray over here. A little water. That should move out there a little bit. Yeah, that's nice too. Okay. And then this one is Dove Gray. Also very pretty. I use all the grays. I do love a nice gray variation. From your cools to darks and then your greens and blue grays. Yeah, they're all just go-tos for me. Dove Gray. And then Davies Gray down here. A little more earthy. That's nice as well. Davies over here. That's a nice gray. Okay, and then we're almost done, you guys. This graphite, I have graphite light up there, and then there's graphite down here, which looks purpley, which is enjoyable. Yeah, take that. Is it pulling into any of the other purples? I don't think so. Yeah, that's a nice addition to all the other purples. Kind of that muted purple gray color that you might need if you're doing a nighttime scene, or you just want that dusky evening feel. Ooh, good idea. Yeah, that's really nice. All right, our last two, because this is, I put titanium white on there, but it's white, you guys. It's white on white paper. This cool gray deep is very green cast to me. That's nice as well. I like that. And then here it is over here. Not too much water again. It's alright, we'll use it for our gradient. We'll do a little fade it out. Nice. That's a nice gradient right there. I dig it. And then ivory black. I do actually use black in colored pencil pieces kind of a lot. Dang, that is intense, that black. Let's see if I can get a gradient going with that. Yeah, that's a nice black. I dig it. Okay. And then it's nice and intense. Get that deep dark that you need. Got too much water on this swatch, but that's okay. I know if I need it to, it can go super black, which is fantastic. And I did put the white down here, but I just don't see the need. And there we go. There's all of our colors swatched out. I'm gonna zoom out, so you can see more of the table. This is the entire set, swatched on the smooth paper. Lots of beautiful, vibrant colors. Seems to have a lot of really light colors, which is fine because there's a nice selection of earths and grays to layer and mix with, which is great. And then here they are swatched out just a skosh bigger. Yeah. Ooh, I just stuck my finger in that black. Kind of should have seen that coming 1,000 miles away. Let's move that out of the way. So yeah, there's our Castle Arts Watercolor pencils all swatched out. And yeah, ready for use. I'm going to be using them to do, I have a branch drawn out here and I want to do some fall leaves. And then this one I had, it's not here. I have another fall leaf drawn out. It might be on that table over there. And then I sketched out this guy, which is what I really wanted to do. This will be the next piece that we do. It's a little bear looking up at the, I don't know if I'm going to do a sun or a moon. Probably an evening, like dusky sunset thing going on. I don't know. I do like to do moon pieces and I do like to do bears, so maybe it'll be another moon bear. Who knows? So there we go. That's the thought patterns for practice for the using just these to do a whole piece. I mean, we'll try it. We'll see if it turns out or not, and go from there. If you stuck around through this whole video, guys, thumbs up to you. You are appreciated. I love that you're still here, you know, listening to me babble and watching me swatch. I hope it was relaxing and that you enjoyed yourself, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.